Hey everybody, this is FatMop bringing you a game that was actually cast live at the MLG Dallas, I think earlier this week, maybe even today or yesterday, between EG's INcontroL and Liquid's TLO, or the little one. INcontroL, the Protoss player at the top right, I think he finished pretty well at the MLG. I believe it's over, but I'm not going to spoil the results for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. He is involved in the Starcraft 2 esports scene quite heavily. I don't think he's won any major tournaments, but he is involved in promoting things like the state of the game, and I believe in the upcoming North American Star League. He's got a pretty big role to play there as well. TLO, on the other hand, just about everybody who's familiar with StarCraft's got to know TLO by now. He does famous for inventing new builds, especially early in the beta, doing some really creative stuff, exactly perfect micromanagement most of the time. Really one of the best players, I think, in the StarCraft 2 Pro scene. I'm not going to spoil the results of this whole series between TLO and INcontroL, because they played each other, I believe, in the losers bracket of the MLG. So this is just one of those games. I think it was cast by Day9 and DJ Wheat, possibly. So it's not like this is anything new. If you've already seen the MLG, then just tune out right now and tell me I'm a loser. But yeah, hopefully I'm going to bring you a good game. I've actually watched through it, so I kind of know it's a good game. It's pretty sweet. We've got Protoss going a fairly standard opening so far. There's nothing major coming out of these guys. They're not trying to cheese each other just yet. Standard scouting times, and I believe at MLG cross positions were enforced, so the fact that these guys are spawning in cross positions and they both scouted directly across the map, the reason for that was just that MLG is trying to promote some longer games to have some just some better live casting experiences, so they don't get quite as much cheese going on from each of the players. So that's why cross position spawning has been enforced on these MLG maps. TLO going for that quick orbital command at what, 15 or 16 supply. Very, very standard thing for the Terran to do, and is going to help him boost his economy quite a bit. Protoss player is ahead in probes right now just because he's been able to use those chrono boosts to get probes out earlier, but when the Terran gets that mule out to start mining minerals, he's going to be boosted right back up there and possibly get ahead of our Protoss player. So the Cyber Core coming down. We've actually got a quick double gas by INcontroL. You don't normally see that unless the Protoss is going to go a fast robotics bay, and I think TLO, has he scouted this? Whoop. Yes, he has. So I think he's going to know what to expect coming out of INcontroL. I don't think a 4 warp gate requires such a fast double gas here. Chrono boosting out a Stalker and the warp gate tech, so I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Meanwhile, we've got TLO building his tech lab, so let's see what he starts researching out of that. Stimpack right away, so without even having, I believe, oh look, and he's got a Reaper actually on the way out of that right now. So fast stim timing means he's probably going to go for some kind of a stim timing push. That would mean that as soon as stim is finished, he's hopefully going to have an army of Marines and Marauders sitting right outside that base, or at least in a position to have some sort of map control that he can push back INcontroL into his base. A command center actually going down as well, so it looks like TLO, aside from just the timing push opener, maybe that won't be a timing push at all, maybe he's just going for Stimpack because it's a necessary thing for the Terran when they're going bio. Yeah. Let's see, Stalker and a probe. So INcontroL just wants to make sure that he doesn't get any early army coming out from TLO, but TLO says, man, screw that. I'm just going to get my expansion down here at my natural, make a lot of money. There is now finally a forward pylon for INcontroL, and yes, that robotics facility coming down right now, so called it. Yeah, I know, I watched it before, but even when I watched it the first time I called it, I felt pretty good about that because I don't normally call that kind of stuff. Second gateway, probably going to see a third gateway go down. I think 3-gate robo is a standard Protoss build, and here's the Reaper from TLO doing some harassment, knocks out a probe, potentially going to knock out, or wait, was that a sentry? I don't remember. He knocked out something, he's got a kill. And that Reaper may not have been worth it purely in terms of what he's killed, especially because it looks like he's going to get knocked out right now. There he goes. But he did get some extra scouting in there. Not that he really needed it. I think he already knew that this robotics facility was on the way. Meanwhile, what does INcontroL see? Not a lot. He hasn't gotten a lot of scouting done in quite a while. So let's see. We've got 3 barracks and factory coming down for TLO. And that factory probably just going to be thrown in there because you need a factory before you get a starport. Once you get that starport, he can start pumping out medevacs to significantly enhance the bio ball it looks like he's going to make. Oh man, I'm sorry, I had to stifle a yawn. That's the worst thing that could possibly happen when you're casting such an exciting game. So we've got a quick observer out from INcontroL, and it looks like he's setting up maybe to expand here, but with that Immortal coming out, I don't know, he might just push straight off of one base with this 3-gate robot. It's going to be a very aggressive timing, especially considering the expansion has already been up for TLO. He's got lots of mining going on there, especially with that mule. I don't know. I think that this aggressive push that he's got going right now may not work very well for him. We'll have to see if he can do the damage. Looks like he's got a probe out here for extra forward pylons in case he needs them, but that probe's going to get taken out if he's not careful. Oh, but perfect force fields on the ramp. So there goes a Marauder. Already this attack has paid for itself as long as he doesn't lose a lot. But oh no! Looks like I don't know, I think he canceled that. I think he's okay. Probably only lost the 25 minerals from canceling. Oh, he's going to push up this ramp. That's kind of a strange decision. He's got 2 Marauders in this. That's going to knock out at least 1 sentry. The Immortal up here, if he focuses that down, that could get picked off very fast. Looks like he is going to pick off the Immortal. That's going to be really big because his Immortals are not cheap. He's got another one walking over, but man, 2 Immortals would have been so much more powerful than 1 in this case. And looks like INcontroL has decided, yep, time to retreat. Not going to do very well trying to push up that ramp, especially with 2 bunkers being thrown down now for TLO. So, on his way back home, what does TLO have building in his base? He's got medevacs coming out, a reactor on this factory. So it looks like what he wanted to do is probably just switch the factory in the starport once this medevac finishes, so he can get double medevacs going from the starport. So let's see what's going on here. We've got Pylon getting shot down. Army of INcontroL trying to hold the middle of the map as best it can, and it looks like it's going to do a pretty good job. He does have his Nexus coming down now, and he is getting a robotics bay right up here. So INcontroL going to go for those early Colossi. Maybe not early Colossi, but he's definitely going for Colossi because as a counter to the Terran Bio Ball, pretty decent. Colossi get a lot of splash damage. They can quickly overwhelm the repairing abilities of the medevacs, and you'll see bio units fall very, very quickly to Colossi. So what is TLO going to do about that? I don't know. It's like he's building a second starport. Well, where is it? It's over here. And yes, he has put the starport down on this reactor, so definitely pumping out those medevacs. I wonder what he's going to do with this one, because he's already got 2 medevacs at a time able to be produced from our starport down here. Looks like the expansion's going to get up for INcontroL meanwhile. I really should stop jerking the camera around so much. Let's find something to follow and stop being such a huge jerk. Follow the, not the rocks, just that guy. Thank you. Oh man, so much on the production tab right now for TLO though. He is producing all kinds of stuff. And he's got a tech lab up, so it looks like on the starport he may want to go for something with tech, maybe get out a... Nope, getting out Banshees. I was going to say Raven because I am dumb. He's not using these bunkers right now. I'm surprised he hasn't salvaged them yet. I mean, he could use the extra minerals for sure. Getting out combat shields, Terran infantry weapons level 1, and this Banshee could be a big help. He's even getting the cloaking for it now. With, let's see, how many Colossi do we have here? Looks like this is our first Colossus, second one on the way now for INcontroL. So he is quite a bit behind economically. Let me see what the supply count for INcontroL, just a little bit behind the Terrans. But this army is definitely scary. You're going to push that off for a little bit. Meanwhile, what do we got going on down here? We've got, how many medevacs does he have? The Army tab? Army tab, Units tab. That's what it is. 4 medevacs. Pretty decent repairing ability. 44 SCVs to 41 probes. So yeah, looks like TLO significantly ahead, especially because the mules that are going to be called down for TLO are extremely important in adding to the SCV count, essentially. So the fact that the Protoss is behind on probes means he's really behind on the economy, and we could pull up the income tab to show that. Yeah, TLO is ahead on his economy. He's had this expansion going for longer. He's got more SCVs, so he's in a good position right now. And this Banshee, he's just kind of leaving it with his army for the moment, at least until cloaking finishes, and now he's got the Vikings coming out. So let's see, is he producing double Vikings from down here? No, just one at a time. But with enough Vikings, he should be able to knock out those Colossi fairly easily, as long as the Stalkers don't jump underneath them. And right now, how many Stalkers do we even have? Oh, we've got enough. They were just chasing down a Marine who ran in to do some scouting from, I guess he got dropped in from over here. I completely missed it, guys. I missed everything, except the Marine dying. Oh, here we go. Okay, so INcontroL taking down his back rocks. Looks like he may want to jump back here and kind of flank the Terran player a little bit. Have to see if TLO is aware of that, but it looks like he is going up here to scout possibly, or maybe just to build another command center. He's got a lead right now, and yeah, I think what he's doing is saving up for a command center here so he can just continue to put himself in the lead. He is building a Raven now. I'm not completely dumb. See, there's a Raven coming out. Jeez. You guys thought I was the worst caster of all time. Let's see what's going on up here. Okay, so, oh god, I missed a Banshee. And he's got 3 kills so far. Excellent work by TLO. Pulls it right out of there, and no observers, so since that Banshee is cloaked, it's going to get away scot-free. Yep, Air Force. Reminds me of Eve for some reason. Oh god, used to play that game. Picked off a Colossus, though. That's pretty important. The Colossus count, once it gets high enough, is really going to wreck this bio ball, even with the Vikings hanging around. But if he can keep that Colossus count low, then the gateway units, especially once the Colossi are down, are just not going to be very effective. So we've got the armory of TLO retreating, in full retreat right now from this big, scary Protoss ball. What else is happening? I think he's got more Vikings on the way. He's got a Banshee heading up, 60 energy on this Banshee. So Cloak is 25 energy spell, drains about 1 energy per second, so with 60 energy, by the time it gets up there it might have 70 or 80 or 90. He'll be able to keep that thing cloaked for quite a long time. He's got another drop going on up here. Don't know what he killed with this, probably not a whole lot. Maybe a couple of probes. Looks like he killed a couple of probes. Ghosts on the way as well. I completely missed the Ghost Academy because I'm watching these armies, because the armies are cool to watch. Let's see. Seriously. I've done this in the past. Oh man, keeping units in the medevacs when you just don't realize they're in there, and then one day you select your army and you're like, oh, you know what? This guy has stuff in it. My mistake. That means they're not shooting when they should be shooting. These Phoenix by INcontroL, an interesting choice because it looks like they're going to be knocking out these Vikings relatively quickly. Unlike the Stalkers, who don't have Blink right now and thus aren't that incredibly mobile against the Vikings, Phoenix are one of the fastest units in the game, and so despite the fact that they don't do a lot of damage against armored, only 5 damage per shot, they can still knock out these Vikings pretty quickly in large numbers, and that's what we've seen, is the Viking count for TLO, only 6 right now. He used to have more like 10, I think. So Phoenix, along with the Colossus army, seems like a decent choice to stave off the Viking invaders that are going to pillage and loot the poor old Colossi. So, TLO getting his expansion up, still hasn't noticed his pylon. That could come into play, but it looks like he may drop a couple of Vespene geysers down there, and when he does that, he's going to see this pylon, probably bring something up to kill it pretty soon. Another pylon up here, though. Yeah, it looks like this expansion may go up, and look at that, that's exactly what he's done. He's put in a Zealot to harass. And it looks like he may be able to continue to do that from up here. I don't think he's got any sort of Dark Templar tech. That would probably take away from his army too much. But yeah, he's got the potential to go in here and harass as long as TLO doesn't see this. Does TLO see this? He sees it now. Uh-oh. So I take it back. Looks like that's probably not going to happen. And see, here we go. We got a lot of splash damage coming down, and this looks like it's going to be the big engagement. But uh-oh. TLO knows that INcontroL does not have any observers out because he's been pumping Colossi out of his one robotics bay. So he cloaks up all of his Banshees, and these guys just aren't going to take any damage. They're going to completely ruin this army. I think this might be good game. The Immortal's still up, so TLO does not have much of a ground army, but then neither does INcontroL, and INcontroL has no way of dealing with these Banshees. This is going to be game. I think this is going to be it. All the Colossi are going to go down, nothing to be done, and TLO now has more Marauders on the way, slowing down this Immortal, killing it, going to knock out this Colossus, probably going to knock out this Pylon. Everything by INcontroL is completely down. INcontroL has nothing left unit-wise except for one Phoenix at his base right now, and so TLO knows blood is in the water. He can smell it. He's like a shark. He's going to be going in for the kill right now against INcontroL, and it looks like this is going to be the end of the game for INcontroL. Got one Colossus out right now, just not going to be enough to deal with this. Where are the Banshees? Banshees back here, a little bit behind the army, but they will put a lot of DPS out onto that poor army of INcontroL. I don't know what INcontroL can do now. It looks like he's going to be knocked out of this game if he's not careful. Still, I was going to say TLO doesn't have a lot to shoot up in the air, but he had a couple of Marines. That was enough to knock out those Phoenixes, and he gets right up the ramp into the main, and there we go. GG by INcontroL. Well played by both players. I saw some interesting stuff. Especially bringing out the Phoenix. I don't think I've ever seen Phoenix against a Terran army before to knock away those Vikings, but it did a really good job up until INcontroL lost everything. I just think that the fact that the Terran got his third up and his second up way faster than the Protoss just meant that INcontroL was behind a little bit too much in this game economically, and just couldn't do a lot about it for most of the game. TLO had the upper hand. So thanks for watching. Let me know what I can do in the future. I know I get a robotic voice sometimes. I'm going to fix it in the future. Let me know what else I can do to improve these casts, and thanks for watching.